Okay, Monday morning in the kingdom, and we survived yesterday. For an old guy, I gotta slow down in life, just working to get it done. Yes, like the professor on Gilligan's Island, I make it work no matter what. It's hard to believe we've been 3 months without supplies from the outside world, and we're getting all these projects done to better ourselves and survive off grid. Yes, this morning we woke up to plus 12 Celsius. Yes, it's warm, no toque. Yes, but feels like plus 11 Celsius. And then on the yo-yo scale, plus 54, but feels like plus 52. Oh, is that ever warm? It was an excellent dry heat last night in the house. We just had a little fire going. I think I threw in a handful of little trees or sticks, and that was it. And then let the fire burn out, and it took the dampness out of the air. So sitting in the house with your, how would you say, hoodie on or your jacket, it was still chilly and damp in there. Yes, it didn't matter how much clothes or blankets you had on. The dampness is what takes it out, especially on the old bones. So last night it worked out good, and the house was nice when I woke up this morning. All right. Oh, yes, only a small amount of wood, yes. And today we're doing loose ends, yes. The stuff we were supposed to do on a couple of days ago, but we had to drop everything to build the wood stove. Now we got the wood stove built, and guess what? It's going to be warm, nice, sunny weather, and we don't have to worry about it. Yes, unreal. All right, let's scroll this way to see what's going on. We can hear the sounds of the Whoville generators. Yes, that town used to be known as a sports fishing capital or whatever, a Manitoba or whatever, yada yada. Nobody comes up here fishing anymore. The roads are rough, everything's just terrible. So why come? They should promote themselves as off-grid living. The whole town went off-grid living. Yes, the whole town. Yes, they did it all at once on one day. August 1st is when the power went out. All right, let's scroll a bit more. And Johnny G's coming back from the south. He enjoyed a week's holiday down there, visiting the wife and grandkids and enjoying life as a, how would you say, southern life. Yes, doing stuff. Yes, going here, going there. And then he'll be back into Grief Rapids to sit in his house with no power. Yes, yeah, no power. Yes, oh well. But that's all par for the course of living at the end of the world. Hopefully, Sir Rodney ships our pallets of goodies from the south that was supposed to come May long weekend. That was like 3 months ago. And then Johnny G can deliver it to the kingdom on Wednesday or Friday. All right, one rotation. And let's go walk the dogs. How would you say, start on the loose ends list to appease the boss. He's such an asshole.
Monday morning in Whoville, it's just after 9 a.m. and I finished breakfast and let the dogs back in. As you can see, my puddle in front of the house is pretty big. It was raining most of the night and there was some thunder and lightning. Hopefully it is still wet enough that there's no new fires, but I'll be keeping an eye on the fire map. Now let's head inside and wait for 1 p.m. Then I'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to today.
Okay, Monday after morning coffee. Yes, I can't wait till we can add beverage to the coffee. All right, so we got the quad out. Yes, and we're pulling the trailer around. Yes, we're doing yard things. Yes, we're living off grid. Means you have to do lots of work to keep the homestead going. So we got it out. We're moving stuff around. And the stuff, I raised her right. She doesn't throw everything in the truck. She puts it away organized. Yes, I raised her right. So we have to put the hoses away. I want to weld on that manifold to improve it. We got a antifreeze up the pump and 2-stroke the oil because I don't think the staff was mixing the gas over there because she was getting it as she needed it. Okay, we're over at the new shop. Yes, it was the new shop. Now it's not the new shop. So we have our cement pond or our steel pond like the Beverly Hillbillies. Also too, when it got warm there and we weren't getting any rain, we went down 1 step. So now we've gotten all the rain, we went back up 1 step. So this holds exactly 2,000 gallons. We will be writing on it so we can remember. Now I got to pump it out. Yes, I got to pump it out because now we can use the pit to service the equipment. I mean the collectibles. Okay, I drove around, got all the hoses from the tank farm and from Thor and the water wagon. So everything's in the trailer here. So now when the staff arrives after lunch, we can sort this and put it away properly so we're ready to go for next time. Hopefully there is a never a next time. That was unreal this summer that we went through with the fires and then begging the government for sprinklers and then they took them. So now we're on our own off-grid living. Yes, off-grid living. Our own fire protection, our own power source, our own water. Yes, life can't get much better. Oh yes, if I owned the Playboy Mansion. All right, let's go burn some lunch in the microwave.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to make lunch. I'm gonna have leftover chicken nuggets from last night. So let's head inside and let the dogs out. Then at 1 p.m. we'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. It is pretty nice out here right now and not much of a wind. Thankfully there's no bugs. Almost 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch. Now I'll head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. He asked me to bring him supper, so tonight he'll be having fries and burgers. Made it to the kingdom and we noticed there's a helicopter flying over top. Maybe they're checking out the yard. That is extra low. Not sure what they're doing. Heard them fly by and then they circled and came back around. Doing a big circle right around the kingdom. He's turning and coming back around now. And flying right over the house now. I'm not sure what they were doing. Did a complete circle around the house and then left. Well, I thought he left, but there he is again. Maybe he's lost. It's way too wet for there to be a fire around the kingdom. Oh, there he goes. Maybe they're just seeing what we're doing. He's really flying over the kingdom now. This is his second lap around us. And there he goes again. They must be bored. If they're gonna fly over that much, they should just land and stop in to say hi. I'm not sure what the whiskey jacks are doing, but they're fighting over here. There goes the helicopter again. I'm not sure what they're doing. Lots of whiskey jacks out today. Well, we'll head down to the shop and see what my dad's up to. Pretty sure we're putting away all the garden hoses and sprinklers today. First thing on the list was to bring the little trailer up to the house so my dad has some firewood. Here we have some golf tees. This is what they look like. They're actually from the railroad, but we call them golf tees. Now my dad can use this for kindling in the house. 1:30 and we're over at trailer number 2. Now we can start putting away all the garden hoses. I will hand them to my dad in the trailer and then he will round them up and then we can tape them and mark on them which garden hose is what. We'll keep mine separate from his. Got a little system going. We put a hook on the side here, that way my dad can drain them out as he lifts it up. That's why we are doing it here. That way it's higher up so we can drain all the water out and they don't freeze. I already did that to the ones for my place, so I don't think we'll have to drain those out. Pretty sure we can just mark them and put them in the trailer. My dad has a lot of hoses. 2 p.m. we're just doing the hoses out of the fancy trailer and we're tying up the big hoses as well. That way everything is organized. End of the season and we got everything into van trailer number 2. We will put the stuff at the front of the trailer once we have the front organized. Now let's head over to the caboose and see the mess that's in there. Inside the caboose, and my dad said there was some water in here. Looking around, you can see a little bit on the ground. There is some in the pails. You can see right there too that the roof was leaking and the little emergency hatch as well. There's also some water on the bed frame here. You can see it moving around that way. So we'll clean this up and get it nice and dry. You can see where the roof was leaking. I was able to get all the water out of the caboose. We'll have to look into fixing the roof again before it rains so this doesn't happen. Now I'll head back over to the shop and see what else my dad's doing today. 2:30 and it looks like my dad's just going to have a relaxing afternoon, so I'm officially done in the kingdom. I'll head back into Whoville and let the dogs out and do some stuff around the house.
Okay, before coffee time, I hooked up the hose, yes, because the staff brought the reducer from 2-inch down to garden hose from her tank in town, and we're going to drain out this 11,000 gallons. So I marked it on the calendar today, and at 3 p.m. we started draining it. So we got this, oh, what a mess back here. That contractor sure did make a mess. All right, so we got it draining into the wilderness here, and we'll see how long it takes because I marked it on the calendar. All right, so we're getting the yard organized, and then after coffee, I laid down for a nap, a Sunday afternoon nap on a Monday, and I woke up at 4 o'clock. Oh my. Okay, we did pretty good pumping out the pit. Yes, that's what the 2-inch hose sucked it pretty good down. That's not bad. We do have that sump pump box. They're not welded in the corner, but the water table was too high when we went to do it, and we're going to do it correctly, hopefully in the fall when it dries up. So that's not bad. The pit is a little dirty. We're going to have to wash it. I don't know. The water seemed to attract all the dirt. Oh, wait, we hauled dirty water up here and put it in the pit because that was 2,000 gallons of fire protection water. Yeah, so it worked out very well. Okay, so after my nap, I woke up. I came out here. All right, so let's recap. These are the original mirrors of a 68 Chevy truck that came to the kingdom in 2003, I think it was, and we put the motor in the 39 Chevy and the transmission to get that high speed or open dry shaft. So these are the mirrors that we want. They're next to impossible to get unless you want to pay a lot of money on eBay, but we put them on the 48 Chevy sedan delivery in 2015 because they weren't doing anything. All right, so then, all right, let's scroll this way. Try not to go too fast so everybody gets dizzy. So in 2022, we ordered mirrors from Sir Rodney. These are truck part numbers, and they weren't badly priced, okay? So we only got one set, all right? So then this May, we ordered, how would you say, off of eBay, because that's where truck light, people are saying they have truck light mirrors, and guess what? They're not. We found that out with this cheap set here. It's just 100% junk. So now we're trying to figure out what's the difference. Why they wouldn't fit on the 69? Because they kind of fit on the 67 here, but that was truck light. So we're finding out that the top one is longer. Can we see that up there? The top one's longer, and they have this bracket here to, how would you say, self-adjust, okay? So the knockoff ones on eBay have a hinge. That's the hinge off of somebody's dog pen. And these tubes are all the same length. So the odds are against it. So this isn't very good. So it only took me an hour to figure it out. Plus it took me most of the time to find this, because I put it away properly, stapled it all up, knowing that I'd be looking for it one day. And I looked and I looked, but I just, I knew it was in a van trader, but I didn't know which van trader was in. So now we found it. So I think it's best just we make our own little bracketries here and up here to compensate for this one being too short or whatever. I think we can figure it out now, but not today. Okay, over at the 67, and I don't think it really matters with the amount of holes in the wind door here we have to plug anyway. So if we make our own set of bracketries for up there and down here, what's a couple more holes? Because we'll just have to weld them closed anyways, later date or whatever. But very pleased, very pleased. Today yard is wet and we got it a little tight in here, but that's the main thing. Now we can keep working away, because this is what, how many days with no hydroelectric power? But we're surviving. Okay, yeah, we'll write another book, Off-Grid Living. Okay, before we put the water manifolds away, we're going to do some improvements, so that way we're ready for next time. We're not going to do the improvements later, because when they come out and to be used, it's going to be a rush. So we're going to have to put this thing up on legs, because I don't like it down in the dirt. And plus, it's a lot easier on the back and stuff like that. So the staff, how would you say, survived with it, but we're going to make improvements and everything like that.
5 p.m. and I just checked the work time on the inverter app, and it's been going for 106 hours, which is 4.5 days or so. The inverter has been powering the sump pump that is in my basement, and right now I have the TV on, the sump pump, and the fridge. Pretty sure just the sump pump is on right now. If the fridge was on, it would be up to about 400 or so, which isn't too bad. This is the longest I've had it going because I need the pump in the basement. Now let's head inside and let the dogs out, then I can make supper and end my day.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock. We're done for the day. It was our relaxing Sunday, but on a Monday, and Jack is up there going to narrate this end of day video too. Yes, he's up there. I don't know what he's doing. All right, so he's seen the old guy with the camera or the me phone, so he's going to natter away. All right, so I got to close up the doors, but it got wet. We had fun. Tomorrow is a busy day. I don't know what the boss has got planned, but we have so much to do. It's part of living off-grid. Yes, off-grid living at the end of the world, and nobody cares. All right, let's go walk the dogs and make a video. Talk to you later.